YouTube, welcome to the dojo, you're Samurai Man, and today we have the Transformers Combiner Wars-Superion! Finally, we've been working up to this point. It's been quite a while, I've been slacking it, but I'm trying to just like haul ass on all these videos. So here we are with Superion. We've got all the pieces here, I've already got them in their combined mode, we got the extra pieces. So let's go ahead and just start slapping things together and see what happens. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to find out. So let's start with the arms, just because, actually let's start with the legs just to get its stability. The way it works is here we have the combiner port. I haven't really talked about it, but you can see it's in an interesting square shape with a groove in the middle of it. And then here we have this springy, I guess, I don't know, combined port as well, like porthole. But there we go, you have that. So the way it works is there's a groove here as well within the leg, and you just want to get it in there, and it's kind of like, let's take this out a bit. Get this up here, and then, actually, I'm doing it backwards. What you want to do is have it like this, and then push it in, and then push that bit up, and it'll hold it right into place, no problem. You don't have to worry, it's not going anywhere. It's pretty solid. If you move it, like I just tried to see if I could get it out, and it did. But if you keep it in place, it will stay. And I like that because it makes it so much easier to get the bits in and out. You know, you're not struggling like pushing something into it, like jamming it up into it. Instead, you're just sliding it in. And I think that's a great way to do it. Like that's creative right there. Hasbro did a great job on making these combining pieces easy to combine. So there's the legs. Let's take our arms here. We've got our, not slingshot, we got our fireflight. And then just come on to the top. Same thing, just slide it down. And then take this, we'll take Alpha Bravo first, just because we're just going to go ahead and get him out of the way. But there you go. Keep that all together. This is our Superion figure, and let me go ahead and zoom out so you can get a whole glimpse of what he looks like. So here is Superion in his full combined Combiner Wars form, and he's looking great. I'm actually really liking this design. I'm actually not having a problem here with Alpha Bravo. I thought I might. But he's actually fitting in a lot better than I thought. I didn't think I was going to like the fact that we had a helicopter and a mixture of jets, but he is actually looking great. He's fitting in very well. I think the color scheme is really what's helping him out, is he still has that slingshot color scheme, so it's easier to accept him. But wow, this looks like a great combination. I love how the chest gets bigger at the top and it comes slimmed down in the middle. The arms look big and chunky. The legs look solid. Everything is just looking really great together, so I'm happy with this. If you want, you can take your Power Glide figure, if you have one, which I imagine you do. And then just bring up his arm here. He does have tab holes in the, or peg holes in the base of the arm. So he doesn't actually hold them, there's holes there. And there you go. And there you go, he's got his super cool Power Glide blaster. So not bad. That's a pretty cool looking gun, actually. I really do think that's cool. If you want, you can actually take also the Giant's, what's it called, Silverbolt gun. Same thing, just bag it into his hand. There you go. And there you go. That doesn't look bad either. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. I think that's nice by design. So cool. He is armed up and ready to go. He's ready to face off any enemies that come his way. I'm really loving this. This is looking great. So now we'll go ahead and show off what he looks like with slingshot / quick slinger. So just go ahead and push down on the spring bit. There you go. So you can pop out the arm. Like I said, it holds it in very well, so you can just, all you have to do is push back on the springy orange bit here, and then the slider joint will be able to release. So go ahead and bring that in. There you go. Keep that all together, and now we have slingshot, blah, why do I keep doing that? Slingshot / quick slinger in place. And doesn't that look like the combiner we've been waiting for? He's looking magnificent. Oh my stars. Just finally a fully jet combiner. So like I said, what the heck, Alpha Bravo wasn't bad. Definitely wasn't bad. But I just think that here we have, you know, slingshots here. And I think that just really just completes the look a little better overall. And just to make it more G1 accurate, like I said, I was going to show off what looked better in G1 mode and what looked better in Combiner Wars mode. So we'll go ahead and I'll take off. Basically, I'm just going to flip the legs around. So take this off. Get rid of his legs for a second. Ah, my legs. Then we'll just flip them around. Basically, all you want to do, flip the feet around, flip the legs around. And then what you want to do is untab the back here because it's not going to fit properly. So do that. There you go. Kind of just fold the hand back and just fit it, kind of the fist, into the back of the cockpit there, you can see. And then do it on both sides. And if I can get it. There you go. Now bring it back up. Just make sure it's done right on both sides. And there you go. Just kind of hide the fist away best you can. There you go. So that looks great as well. This is a more G1 accurate Superion where he has the front of the bots facing forward. And that looks great as well. I think they purposely did this. I think they made it where they wanted people to do this. Just to make, like... And I think I think they did this on purpose. They made it where you can make it G1 accurate on purpose. I don't think this was just a coincidence that they just happen to look as great as they do in this mode. Because there's plenty of aesthetics going on. There's lots of color going on. So I really feel like Hasbro intentionally made him look this way just to appeal to fans of all ages and such. So great job for them. I'm glad they did it. I'm loving it. You can see how now he's much more flat and streamlined. He looks a little more cohesive because before he had the giant jet part sticking out. But this looks great as well. I think I'm going to display him like this. This is going to be my go-to display option because this is just a perfectly G1 accurate Superion. For the most part, he's got slingshot, fire flight, skydive, and air raid all there. So love this, love this. I'm loving it 100%. So that looks great. So here you have TFC Toys Uranos paired up with the Combiner Wars Hasbro Superion. And definitely have to say I'm liking the Hasbro one a lot better. Individually, I think the Uranos figures are cool. The problem is he's just such a floppy mess. It took me forever just to get him to stand like this, and he's just standing. He's not even posed in a good way. His legs are not even because you can't get them even because the problem is that his legs are lining up properly, but then they get way too big at the bottom. You can't get them paired up. Whereas here with the Hasbro version, they kept them separated. See, there's a good separated gap, so you can do that. So that was one of the issues. Another issue was I don't think they made Silverbolt quite big enough. Maybe he could have been a little bigger and that would have helped. You can see he's got a very wide chest where his chest isn't quite as wide. So he's got these giant arms trying to tuck into this big or this small chest. So that was another issue, and I think Hasbro, did a better job on it. So he's great. He's got lots of detail. He's a good size and everything, but I think Hasbro just did it a little better, just like for the price point they were going for and everything. And the weight distribution is a lot better on the Hasbro one. The plastic on this guy is all over the place. It's hard to get him to stand in certain ways and put his arms in certain positions just because the weight's everywhere. So there you go. Just so you can see aesthetically which one you prefer, whatever. Faceplate versus non-faceplate. Red eyes versus yellow eyes for some reason. And yeah, just overall, nice to see a good comparison. It's not bad. They're both cool figures, but I say keep your money. Go with the Hasbro one. It'll work out better in the long run, just because you won't have to deal with posability and all that. He is good looking, but it's just hard to get him to stand and all that, and that's an issue. And here you can see him paired up next to a Leader Class Jetfire. You can see he is quite bigger than Leader Class Jetfire. Even with all this stuff going on the top, he is a lot bigger. His head goes up to about his abdomen there, so you can see it's quite a big difference. So that's really cool that they actually made him, the Combiners, quite big. I mean, obviously, because they're stacking up on a bunch of deluxes, but nice to see that comparison. And here you can see him paired up with some deluxe figures. We got Starscream and Windblade here. Not bad for the scale. I feel like, actually, I know for a fact in the comic books that Superion is much bigger than Starscream, just because they make the Combiners huge in the comic books. I mean, even in the cartoons and comics, you see them at one size, and then all of a sudden when they combine, it's the scale is ridiculous because obviously they're not that big. I mean, they'll show like Fireflight's arm, and then we'll see Starscream in the panel, and he's like freaking gigantic, and you know that when he transforms into robot mode, he's not going to be that same size as Starscream. If he was the same size as that, he would be like 2 or 3 times the size. So Obviously, the scale is still going to have some issues. You can't fix that. That's just Transformers in general. That's just how they do things. They just never keep things within a consistent scale. But, mass shifting, you get over it. So for posability, you can rotate his arms up. Very solid. Problem is, because he has ball jointed hips for the individual figures, it can be kind of hard to get some of the poses out of him. But you see he's holding it pretty well. He does have a double bend, actually, because he's got those hips, plus he has the knees. So it's an interesting use of the articulation, but it's doable. His head does rotate. Doesn't look up or down. It just rotates. Not bad. Nothing at the weights, unfortunately. His hips do nicely ratchet up. And then he kind of can bend his knees. If you have him in this configuration where he has the jet pieces in the back, it can get a bit tricky to get the knee bend. I mean, you can see it's not really wanting to move. But if you have it the other way, the knee will move, so you can do that. That's the only concern or issue with the having it in the G1 configuration, is he kind of loses some of that posability in the legs that they gave him. Because he does have a solid knee if you rotate the legs around. So not bad overall. He does have wrist movement just because the way the joint is. I mean, it's just, pegged in. So you can rotate the wrist. Hopefully you can see me doing that. Fingers, obviously, you saw before. It's the same thing as always. Thumbs can move pretty well. So not bad. You can reuse the waist joints on the figures to kind of get some, I guess, bicep swivel. So not bad. A good amount of articulation considering the size. Usually at figures this size, you'd see pretty basic articulation, especially combiners. But for him, it's working out, so that's great. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe to my channel at YouTube, as well as follow me on Tumblr and Twitter at Mcation, and Instagram at Mechas. You'll find all my pictures, recent purchases, what's coming out, who's making what, all that good stuff and more. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Until next time.